champion look against Joe Hart, and that is absolutely
Hello everyone, my name is Jessa Jimin Sigas from BPED 2E. So for today's presentations, I will discuss the perceptual motor abilities, physical proficiency abilities, and the general coordination factors. First is identifying motor abilities. In taxonomy of motor abilities includes two categories, which is the perceptual motor abilities by Flashman 1967 and physical proficiency abilities. When we say perceptual motor abilities, it is the combine how we perceive our environment and how act accordingly with it. And number one is the multi-limb coordination, 2 control precision, 3 respond orientation, 4 reaction time, 5 rate control, 6 manual dexterity, 7 finger dexterity, 8 arm hand steadiness, 9 wrist finger speed, and number 10 is aiming. When we say multi-limb coordination, it is the ability to coordinate the movement of a number of limbs simultaneously. Like for example, is serving a tennis ball because it requires the person's ability to use their hands and feet while serving a tennis ball. Number 2 is the control precision. It requires a highly controlled movement adjustment, particularly where involve a large muscle groups. Example nito is the operate bulldozer. Why? Because it measures the a person's ability to quickly and rapidly adjust the controls of a machine or a vehicle to exact positions. Number 3 is respond orientation. It involves quick choices among numerous alternative movement, more or less as in choice reaction time. An example nito is, it is the apparently related to the ability to select a correct movement under choice reaction time situation. Ang example nito is the goalie in hockey, where the type of shot on goals is often uncertain. Number 4 is the reaction time. It is measure of how quickly an organism can respond to a particular stimulus. Ang example nito is the sprint in 100-meter dash. Why? Because it measures person's ability to simple reaction times to faster or fast the situation. And the number 5 is rate control. It involves the productions of continuous anticipatory movement, adjustment, and response to changes in speeds. Ang example nito is the high speeds auto racing because it measures the person's ability to control can be performed within a period of time. Number 6 is manual dexterity. It underlines tasks in which relatively large objects are manipulated with the hands and arm. So like for example is the dribbling basketball because it includes muscular, skeletal, and neurological function to produce a small precise movement. And number 7 is the finger dexterity. When we say dexterity, it involves tasks requiring the manipulations of small objects. Like for example, the eating spaghetti. Because it measures of a person's ability to handle a small object or to manipulate control using their fingers. Number 8 is the arm-hand steadiness. It is the ability to make precise arm and hand positioning movement where strength and speed are not required. Like for example, is the waiter who carries trays of food or anything because it is the measure of person's ability to keep hand and the arm steady while moving your arm and while holding your arm and hand in a one positions. And number 9 is wrist finger speeds. Its speed rather. It involves rapid movement of the wrist and finger with a little or no accuracy demands. Like for examples in playing bongo drums because it is measure of person's ability to make fast, simple, repeated movement of the finger and hand wrists. And number 10 is the aiming. When we see aiming, it is the highly restricted type of ability that requires the productions of accurate hands movement to the targets under the speeded condition. Ang example nito is the hitting a target with the rapid throw of a dart. because it measures the person's ability to point or direct a weapon at an object. Physical proficiency abilities. It is the ability to flex or strengthen the trunk or back muscles. And the number one is explosive strength, static strength, dynamic strength, trunk strength, extend flexibility, dynamic flexibility, gross body equilibrium, balance with visual cues, speed of limb movement, gross body coordinations, and stamina. When we say explosive strength, it is the ability to expend the maximum of energy in one explosive activities. Like for example, ito is the javelin and sport of track and field. Because it is component of speed, strength, it refers also to the accelerations or rate of force development of the neuromuscular system's ability to generate high actions velocity. And number two is the static strength. When we say static strength, it involves the exertions of force against relatively heavyweight or some very immovable objects. Like for example, nito is the stretch workout because it is the ability to apply force where the length of the muscle does not change and there is no visible movement at the joint. And number three is the dynamic strength. It is the ability to repeatedly or continuously move to support weight of the body. Example nito is the climbing a rope. Because it is the ability to apply a force repeatedly over a period of time. Number four is the trunk strength. When we say trunk strength, it is the dynamic strength that is particular to the trunk and abdominal muscle. An example nito is the pommel horse in the gymnastic. Why? Because it is the ability to use your abdominal and lower back of muscle to support part of the body repeatedly or continuously over time without giving out or fatigue. Number five is extend flexibility because it is the ability to extend or stretch the body as far as possible in the various directions. Like for example is the yoga because it measures person's ability to flex or stretch or their trunk and back muscle as far as possible or stretch their body or as far as possible. And number six is dynamic flexibility. When we say dynamic flexibility, it's involved repeated rapid movement requiring muscles flexibility. Like for example, nito is the ballet dancer because it measures person's ability to move muscle and joints through their full range of motion during active movement. And number seven is the gross body equilibrium. It is the ability to maintain total body balance in the absence of visions. Example nito is the circus performer. Why? Because it measures person's ability to keep or regain your body balance or stay upright when in an unstable positions. Number 8 is the balance with visual cues. It is the ability to maintain total body balance with when visual cues are available. Example nito is the balance beam because it measures person's ability to maintain their line or gravity within their base of support. And number 9 is speed of limb movement. When we say speed of limb movement, it is the underlying task in which the arms or legs must move quickly but without reaction time stimulus to minimize movement of time. Ang example nito is the throwing a pass of pitch because it measures person's ability to quickly move the arms and legs. So, magkaparehas yung arms and legs nila na gumagana. Ang number 10 is the gross body coordinations. It is the ability to perform a number of complex movement stimulously. Example nito is the ice hockey player because it measures person's ability to coordinate the movements of your arms and legs and also the torso together when the whole body is in the motions. And number 11 is the stamina. When we say stamina, it is the ability to exert the entire body for prolonged period of time, a kind of cardio endurance. Example nito is the distance runner and cyclist because it requires a strength, energy, and allows you to sustain physical or mental effort for your long periods of time. In general coordination, number 1 is the movement rate. When we say movement rate, it is the similar to Fleischmann's speed of movement, the abilities apply to move to situations in which a series of movement must be made at the maximum speed. And the example nito is the keyboarding or typing because it measures the person's ability to organize and establish strategies around use the internal talent for reducing turnover and improving development opportunities. Dito pumapasok yung pagiging strategies natin. Kung ano yung gagamitin natin strategies para makapag-typing tayo. So, gumagana dyan yung mga fingers natin. And motor timing. When we say motor timing, it is the important for the performance of tasks in which accurately timed movement are essential. And ang example nito is the playing drums in a band. Because it requires perceived timing more specifically, the outcome of the actions will be determined by how well unfolding movement are controlled. So, when playing drums in a band, kailangan natin, yung movement natin is the nakokontrol natin. And number 3 is the perceptual timing. It is underlined task in which accurate judgment about the time, course, or perceptual events in which is required. An example nito is the musical score by a ballet dancer or a vocalist because it measures person's ability to perceive, to become aware of stimulation. And lastly, the face control because it is the important for tasks in which forces of varying degrees are needed to achieve their desired outcome. An example nito is the playing instruments such as piano or violin because it includes changes of mood. Dito nagbabago yung face control natin based on the instrument or kung ano yung tutugtugin natin. Again, my name is Jessa Jimin Sigos from BPED 2.
So hello everyone, my name is Sir Gawin Biriben and we will continue the report of the group 4. So, these capacities incorporate assortment of common coordination variables such as development rate, engine timing, perceptual timing, and drive control. So the next is a common timing capacities may not exist for all timing tasks. For all illustration, tapping errands that requires a common timekeeping capacities, since entertainers must be able to gauge time interims depends on the timing handle that contrasts from the ones individual requires from a timing development generation form, for example drawing assignments. So the next is the what should practitioners remember about people's ability. At last, professionals ought to keep in mind that the design of each person's capacity is as it were on the variable that contributes to the individual's general execution. To begin, professionals ought to anticipate people to distinctive designs of capacities with them to as execution or learning circumstances. It depends. Have you ever thought about what some of your own dominant abilities would be? List 3 movement activities for which you particularly skilled. What abilities do you think you possess that allows you to perform these skills so well? Expect individual to bring different patterns of abilities with them to perform or learning situation. For instance, response time and speed appendage development are more significant in circumstances where the moving towards the ball is going at a high pace, while the perceptual and engine timing are more significant when the individual needs to react balls drawing nearer or various paces. In the event that should embody the conduct more when she is pursuing a shot that when is reacting to a ball hit straightforwardly at her. The teacher may presume that the person's scored inclusion is expected more to speed of appendage development and dangerous strength than to response time and reaction direction. And for the subsequent individual, the example of capacities may incorporate response time, reaction, direction, speed of appendage development, and touchy strength. For the principal individual, the example of may incorporate speed of appendage development, response timing, perceptual planning, engine timing, and power control. different perceptual abilities may underlie the performance of similar appearing motor tasks. At that point, they tried each of the players to decide levels of taking after visual capacities. In active visual kinese, the discernment of the set of visual objects. Energetic visual sharpness means the recognition of the moving visual objects, and steadiness and profundity recognition. Ensuing correlation examination uncovered that energetic visual kinese was the as it were capacity that contribute essentially to field object shooting execution which inactive visual sharpness.
Good day everyone, my name is Tristan Tuto Bumali. I will continue the discussion of Group 4. So, how can movement practitioner help parents? So first, they can encourage parents to provide their children with a broad range of movement experience early in life. So una ay kailangan nating hikayatin ang mga anak natin na mas mapabuti pa yung mga kanilang gawain. Dahil habang bata pa lang sila ay nalalaman na natin kung ano nga ba yung mga abilidad na kaya nilang gawin. So, second, practitioner can instruct parents to observe how well their children perform different activities. So, yung pangalawa naman ay pwede nating obserbahan yung ating mga anak sa mga kanilang ginagawa. Para sa ganitong paraan ay pwede nating itama yung mga maling nagawa ng ating anak. Third, practitioner can caution parents that many factors, body size, achievement, motivation, motor activities, can influence the performance of people at different time and level of maturation. So yung pangatlo naman ay sabi dito ay dapat ang magulang ay hindi dapat magulat sa mga ginagawa ng kanilang anak na mas magaling pa kaysa sa matanda. For example ay yung paglalaro ng basketball. So maraming mas bata na mas magagaling kaysa sa mas matanda dahil habang bata pa lang sila ay nahuhubog na nila yung kanilang mga ginagawa o yung mga kanilang kakayahan. Realize that an individual pattern of ability will facilitate that person performance more on tasks than on other. So, if a practitioner can estimate the pattern of an individual abilities, he or she may consider with activity the person abilities are more suitable or which are not. So, dito, ang sabi dito ay dapat ay kaya mong tansyahin yung mga kakayahan ng isang tao at dapat kaya mo ring iakma yung kung hanggang saan lang ba yung kaya nila at yung hindi nila kayang gawin. Most people with activity better fit their abilities. They come to this conclusion as a result of experience with a variety of tasks. Some of it they perform well, and sometimes with easily, and other with they struggle. So sabi dito ay dapat alam mo ng isang tao kung ano nga ba ang abilidad na kaya nilang gawin. So kung ano man yung akma sa kakayahan nila ay mas magagawa nila ito ng tama at di sila magkakamali. So next is remember the person. Pattern of ability is only one of the factor that contribute to the individual overall performance. So first is beginning at an early age. Some people have more opportunities to participate in movement activities than do other people. So if child parents are particularly support of athletics or other form of performance activity, the child is likely to be exposed wide variety of movement form beginning at an early age. So ang sabi dito ay habang bata pa lang ay dapat nahuhubog na yung kakayahan. So halimbawa dito ay yung pagsasayaw. So habang bata ka pa lang dapat nag-iensayo ka na sa pagsasayaw para mas mapalawak mo pa yung kaalaman sa pagsasayaw. So next is body configuration is another factor that can influence an individual performance bigger. Stronger children who matured at an earlier age have advantage when it comes to the performance of a number of physical skill like throwing, jumping, and striking. So, sabi dito ay, habang bata ka pa lang ay sinasanay mo na yung katawan mo. So, halimbawa dito yung paglalaro ng baseball. So, habang bata ka pa lang ay nag-ensayo ka na para masanay na yung katawan mo katulad ng paghagis ng bola. So, dahil dito ay may improve mo pa yung abilidad mo at mas lalo ka pang gumaling. So, advantage mo na yun sa mga una pa lang naglalaro ng baseball. Next is, another factor that can contribute to individual performance is personal characteristic people differ with respect to trait like achievement, motivation, competitiveness, risk-taking, and vigor. So, isa pang mahalagang factor ng isang tao ay ang personal characteristic dahil dapat may respeto ka sa ibang tao kahit mataas na yung na-achieve mo. So, dahil ang mahalaga ay ang personal characteristic ng isang tao para makamit niya ang tagumpay.
Good day everyone, my name is Almira Tigalier and we're going to talk about how abilities contribute to the performance of skills, a toolbox analogy. When a person is born, he or she inherits a toolbox of abilities. So it means everyone is born as an empty toolbox, and as they get older and have more experiences, they gain tools for their box. They, along with all your other experiences, become your tools to help you in life. So, ang ibig sabihin daw nito ay nung tayo daw ay ipinanganak, tayo daw ay nagtataglay ng isang empty toolbox. Ito ay totoo naman, dahil nung tayo ay isinilang sa mundo, tayo ay walang kaalam-alam, as in empty. Pero, habang dumadaan sa buhay natin, tumatanda tayo, nagkakaroon tayo ng karanasan, nagkakaroon tayo ngayon ng tools na magagamit natin sa ating buhay. Yung tools na yon ay yun yung ating mga kakayahan at mga na-experience habang tayo ay nag-explore sa buhay natin. The different tools in the toolbox are different tools that avail their uses. Each ability designed to do a particular kind of job. So, kagaya nga ng sinabi ko, nung tayo ay pinanganak, tayo ay isang empty. Pero, habang tayo ay nag-explore, tumatanda, nagkakaroon tayo ng experience, at yung experience na yon, yung kakayahan na yon, ay nagiging sandata natin or tools. At ang tools na yon ay hindi lamang iisang klase, kung hindi marami. Sa loob ng toolbox, mayroong iba't ibang klase ng tools. O sa ating pagkatao, meron tayong iba't ibang klase ng kakayahan. Hindi lamang siya iisang uri o nakapokus sa isang kasanayan, kundi maraming nakapaloob dito. How any particular movement, skill, or task requires a certain set of abilities, and people use different combination of their abilities for different tasks. Tayo ay meron ng kasanayan, meron tayong tools. Ngayon, yung tools natin ay may iba't ibang angkop na paggamit. Hindi lamang siya isa. Ngayon, dahil naiiba siya, meron din tayong mga events na kinakailangan ng kasanayan na iba't iba rin. Kagaya ng inside the toolbox, you have a claw hammer. Claw hammer used to drive nails. It means can use the abilities from a toolbox in any particular event. Yung empty toolbox natin, napunan ng mga kasanayan. Yung kasanayan na yun ay hindi lamang nakapokus sa iisa, kundi marami. Ngayon, yung iba't ibang uri na yun ay meron siyang angkop na paggamit. For example nito ay ang claw hammer, ginagamit siya sa pag-drive ng nails. Yung saw naman, di ba, meron siyang angkop na paggamit, hindi naman natin siya magagamit na pang-drive ng nails. Kagaya na lang ng isang halimbawa, kasali ka sa isang running events. Then, ang kakayahan mo ay pagtalon. Hindi mo naman i-angkop ngayon yung kakayahan mo sa pagtalon sa pagtakbo. Meron siyang ibang tools na kailangan mong gamitin. So, yung tools mo na yun ay yung pagtakbo. Yun ang gagamitin mo ngayon sa running events. Ang example nito ay ang motor abilities. Ang motor abilities ay kinakailangan ng paggalaw ng reaction time, response orientation, multi-limb coordination. So, sa quarterback, hindi lamang isa yung skills na gagamitin mo, kundi magkakaroon ka ng combinations. Kung tatlong combination, kundi reaction time, response orientation, multi-limb. At ang isang example pa nito ay ang race car driver. Sa race car driver, ang sangkap nito ay para ma-perform mo siya, kailangan siya ng reaction time, speed of limb movement, and manual dexterity. So, bago mo magawa ang isang bagay, kinakailangan mo muna kumuha ng tools sa toolbox mo. Yun yung kakayahan mo na iaangkop mo ngayon sa isang events para ma-perform mo siya ng tama. At kapag nagawa mo na to ng paulit-ulit, magiging eksperto ka din eh. Masasanay ka, maging expert ka ngayon sa paulit-ulit mong ginagawa. How might practitioners utilize the notions of abilities? We have focused mainly on the concept of individual differences and motor abilities, presenting what we believe is the most appropriate interpretation of each other concept and suggesting some things to keep in mind when analyzing the possible influence of people's abilities on their motor performance. So, ay naman dito, nakapokus to sa individual na kakayahan ng bawat isa, yung pagkakaiba-iba at yung kanilang kasanayan. Skills can also be classified by analyzing various components or demands of the task and considering the types of abilities that underlie task performance. By using task analysis approach, practitioners can determine which movement components to emphasize during instruction. Practitioners who classify skills in the way can do so either informally or formally. So, ayun naman dito, dito lumalabas yung pagkasanay o pagiging expert mo sa isang bagay. So, syempre, pagka sanay na sanay ka na, alam mo na kung paano i-combine yung mga skills at paano siya i-apply sa formal man o informal na mga sitwasyon. So, sometimes the informal comments of expert performers are inconsistent with the findings of controlled research. So, ay naman dito ay ang mga ibang mensahe daw ng mga expert ay hindi tumutugma or nagkakaiba sa pananaliksik. The former great baseball batter Ted Williams is well known for his frequent claim that he was able to watch the seams of the ball rotate up to the moment of bat-ball contact. This comment conflicts with what research has revealed about the length of visual information processing time and speed of eye movements. So, si Ted Williams daw ay isang kilalang-kilala sa kanyang madalas na pag-angkin na napapanood niya ang mga ikot o tahi ng bola bago pa ito tumama sa bat ball. Syempre meron siya ng side comments. Sinasabi niya ngayon kung yung mga mangyayari, syempre alam na niya. Pero salungat ito sa ayon sa mga eksperto sa pag-aaral, salungat ito sa haba ng oras ng proseso ng visual na impormasyon.